Hello, everybody. This is Kai Marn, and today I'm going to be talking about the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 controversy. Now, this is sort of blown up a bit because, see, people are calling out the new Kingdom Come game for being woke, and honestly, it's a bit divisive. But personally, I think the criticisms are all spot on. Now, to give some context, the original Kingdom Come Deliverance comes out in 2018. You know, it was originally a Kickstarter project, I believe, it was it got attacked particularly by a lot of leftists, gaming journalists, because it was unapologetic in its vision, and that vision was creating a RPG that took place in medieval Bohemia that was as historically accurate as possible. And in pursuit of this vision, the game didn't have any diversity. There were no, non-white characters, because in medieval Bohemia, everybody was white. Everybody was white, basically. And of course, this got a lot of criticism from, leftists. But the game ended up being a big success. It was kind of like, I guess, sort of one of the first big anti-woke games. I mean, even the creator leaned into this sort of anti-woke side a lot. He wore a shirt that said based. Recently, he clowned on Dragon Age the Veilguard. But anyways, so the sequel's coming out in just about 2 weeks, I think. And it is getting some controversy because the developers have decided to include a gay romance option, which is pretty bizarre, in addition to a black character, a token black character who's basically like a Wakandan. And some people are really upset about this. Of course, I think this is total DEI pandering, and other people are against it. Definitely, you can see that I definitely think that they've bent the knee quite a bit. But anyway, let's get into this. So let's see here. Let's just go through it. So basically, it all started with some leaks. It all started with a leak out of Saudi Arabia, or allegedly, there's a rumor that the game was banned in Saudi Arabia for having a gay cutscene, and it was just a rumor, and everybody was denying it, including Daniel Vavra, who's the director. Here it is. Turns out that we are once again in the middle of a rather bizarre culture war, this time for the opposite side than usual. So here's a statement, but I hate to spoil the plot of the game for the sake of it. So basically what he says here, he basically says a whole bunch of nothing. And he doesn't deny the rumor about there being gay scenes in the game at all, which is already pretty sus. So this comes out, and people, especially you saw this from anti-woke YouTubers they were all like, I'm sure it's not real, guys. Just trust the plan. Trust the plan. Anyways, though, more stuff comes out, and it turns out that everything was real. And it's not just the gay scene. The game also includes this random black guy. Musa of Mali is my name. Scholar, explorer, physician. I run the camp infirmary. Similar to our country, yet completely different. You mine silver, we gold, but in our country, it would never happen that we allow foreigners into our mines. Overall, it is safer in our country. Nobody will waylay you on your journey, and we treat women with greater respect and set great store by learning. So this game, which got flack from, leftists in its prequel for, having a historically accurate demographics, now it's adding in a token black guy, and not only a token black guy, a token black leftist fantasy guy who is from Mali, which, by the way, in the time period this game took place in, Mali was the biggest slave state ever seen that treated women like cattle. Oh no, it's such a safe country, we treat women with respect. Literal leftist fantasy. And it says this later, but apparently, despite being an RPG, you're not even allowed to kill this guy because he's too important to the story, apparently. And look, there's some BS explanation for why this guy exists, but it's just completely ridiculous. The explanation is there was a painting with a black guy that someone made at the time. So obviously there must have been black people in ancient Bohemia. Makes perfect sense to me. And by the way, I saw the painting, and it's pretty clear that the artist never saw a black person his entire life. It was basically just it looked like a white person doing blackface, no joke. But anyways, so here he comes. He addresses some of the rumors. So 1 out of 10, there are no unskippable cutscenes. Whatever. Not banned in a country. As much as I don't like forced diversity, nobody was forcing us to do anything, and we are not forcing anyone to do certain things. Look, even if that isn't true, look, for one thing, there's a difference between, like, force and coercion. You know, in order for Vavra's game to even get made in the first place, it might have been like, okay, we have the investment money you need, but we'll only give it to you if you put in a black character in a gay romance, you know? Get what I mean? But look, even if he wasn't forced or coerced in any way, that honestly just makes it worse. 4 out of 10 gay characters were already in KCD 1. This is true, but there were like 2, and one of them was a villain, and one of them was like a random NPC, and I'll talk about that later, because I think that's kind of interesting. There definitely wasn't a gay romance option. And then 5 out of 10, KCD is an RPG. You're responsible for your decisions. If you want Henry to try a same-sex adventure, feel free. If you don't want to, you don't have to. All affairs are and were in KCD 1 purely optional. The characters are perfectly aware that it was a forbidden sin. Oh my god. See, this is sort of the whole thing. And he sort of changed the perspective, because in, you know, Kingdom Come 1, Henry was never really like a self-insert character. He, like, because in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, Henry, he wasn't a self-insert character, and he was also undeniably straight in that game. He was a heterosexual male. So this sequel, which takes place afterwards, is completely retconning this guy to make him gay or bisexual. You know, unless Vavra is secretly based and thinks that homosexuality is a choice, but that's sort of another discussion. But yeah, it is pretty ridiculous, though. So yeah, this is a guy who isn't even a self-insert character, who was pre-established to be straight, but oh, he's just gay now if you want. Ha ha ha. 6 out of 10. Game takes place in one of the richest cities in Europe, which was besieged by a massive foreign army. That's the reason why the life in such a city is more diverse than the life in villages which were featured in the first game. Give me a break, man. See, this is the whole thing. All these, like, based guys, so many of these based guys, like, turn into leftists when they're pressed. Like, are you kidding me? Don't worry. Prague in the 15th century was definitely 30% black, 50% Chinese, 5% white. Definitely looks like modern-day New York. Or whatever. 7 out of 10. Musa came to Bohemia with an invading army as a member of the royal court of King Sigismund, whom he met thanks to his engagement at the court of Sultan Bayezid, educated noble and Renaissance man from the Kingdom of Mali. Literally just like leftist, you know, leftist Wakanda fantasy. It's just completely ridiculous. There's no real historical leg to stand on when it comes to there being a black, you know, freaking magical Negro in ancient Bohemia. Oh, but you know, they come up with whatever explanation they can, right? At the same time, very unusual figure for the local Bohemian folk, and many of the situations around him in the game stem from this, so his presence makes sense and creates a lot of interesting situations. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be, like, some racism is bad stuff. He's going to go all, like, Black Lives Matter or something. Oh, God. Imagine if, like, a freaking guard... Imagine if there's, like, a George Floyd parallel. A knight apprehends him and, like, starts kneeling on his neck. I can't breathe. Everything displayed corresponds to the morals and social norms of 1403 Bohemia and is only there to make an interesting story and not at all appeal to a modern audience. Yeah, I'm sure. He's going to be bending the rules there, I can guarantee that. We don't want KCD to be used as clickbait by people who didn't even play it yet. Some of them sadly turned into exactly the same narrative they pretend to be fighting against. The amount of hateful behavior is really sad and will damage any cause associated with it. I'm sure, man, I'm sure. I know your game's going to be damaged by this at the very least. Man. Anyway, though, any good response? Yeah, this guy's right. Just made literally just made a straight character gay for the memes. Whatever. But anyway, though, and then he posts this. Historical accuracy is what he claims, and also diversity. Uh-huh. My god. It's insanity. This guy is basically like a leftist. He's talking out both. He's wearing two masks right here. Anyway, though, there's been some other stuff too. Like, he basically has just been spurring out. He should have just said nothing. It would have been better. Like, for example, a bunch of anti-woke YouTubers have been covering this, although they've been very generous to the game so far. Rev Says Desu and Demi on TV. I'm sure there's other ones. Most of them were like, okay, so there's rumors saying that this game is woke, but they're just rumors. I don't think the game's going to be woke. You know, wait and see, whatever. Pretty generous, right? They're not really dogpiling. And Rev Says Desu was one of the guys who was given this game the benefit of the doubt. And then I think yeah, so this is his original video. And guess what? He got attacked by the game director for it. The game director who didn't even watch the video because he says, another grifter, no, our pre-orders haven't dropped because of backlash. And he's just saying other stuff. But look, he's attacking Rev Says Desu for defending him, basically, because he never watched the original video. And which is pretty ironic because he says, where was it? Down here, right? He's like, we don't want KCD to be used as clickbait by people who didn't even play it yet. Attacks a guy attacks a guy when he didn't even watch the video that was defending him. And look, yeah, so that's the whole thing. This dude's literally just turned into a complete leftist. Let's see, what else do I got here? There was this controversy with the Steam forums. Basically, their Steam forum guidelines were pretty lefty, and they've simplified them, made them a little more neutral, let's say. So, I mean, at least that got resolved. Here we go. I found this one. Yeah, this is a quote from his Twitter because I don't talk to Nazi whatevers like you. Developer of KCD2 responding to his customers and fan base. Like, this is the whole thing. This guy, Vavra, is basically just turned into a leftist. Calling people Nazis just because you've pretty much betrayed your vision of what the first game was. And besides that, there's other things too. Like, this is interesting. So I time traveled and asked old Warhorse themselves to settle the debate once and for all. Yeah, this one was from a YouTube comment. So, quoting Warhorse Studios, same-sex romance, no, you not play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Silver Scalus, and he already does have a background story in which he is not bisexual or bi-order sexual. Wait, what did he say? Anyway, but nobody will force you to do anything, but you will play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith. Yes, he is straight and white and male and from Bohemia. Someone from France will not be able to play as a French guy, even if he loves his country. If you're in a wheelchair, you will be able to walk in the game, and Henry will be able to have a dog in the game. Even if you are more of a cat person, you will play as a Christian person, even if you are a Muslim, Hindu, atheist, or Jedi. What if you are an artist and drawing is your life? Okay, so there's nothing wrong about people that have different preferences and heritages, but we cannot cover them all, and we don't want to. We want to tell the story of Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Silver Scales, and he will be different from you, not only in his sexuality, but in his heritage, in his looks, and in his biography, many more. Many things that you won't be able to do. So basically what he's saying, because frickin', you know, the director has basically retconned this. Because Henry was never... the director's retconned this, basically saying, it's a self-insert. You can be gay if you want to. Henry is you. But that's really not who Henry ever was, and this community post from years ago kind of proves that, or this one proves that. My god, these responses. Anyway, though, yes, guy goes more into it. Like, look, it honestly does make no sense. This would be like if they made Geralt bisexual in The Witcher 3 or something. Trust Warhorse. And this goes into another. I finally took the time to read and watch as much as I could on the controversy. This has led me to believe that all of this was nothing more than people who want woke trying their best to bring down a studio that will not bend the knee. So there's this conspiracy theory showing up now that it's like, the anti-woke people are the real woke. And or some people say that, but what this guy is saying is that the attack on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is all some kind of psyop done by leftists to make the game fail, which is completely ridiculous because it's it's indisputable that the game has woke elements now. You're telling me that a random black guy who's not even just like a slave or something, literally like a nobleman, and you know, history has been completely revised to make Mali like some modern progressive paradise. That's not woke. Look, even the whole gay romance option. I mean, look, they retconned Henry to make him bisexual, at least if the player chooses. Look, even if you're the guy who thinks that, oh, woke is, forcing something in, changing things, they've changed stuff. They've retconned things. They are forcing it in. You get what I'm saying? And of course, I think wokeism is just any kind of any kind of leftism. But even if you think that wokeism is when it's forced in, that's what it's happened here. And look, I don't really know what the game plan is on these things. I think, but look, it's just completely idiotic, though. Heaviest attacks I've ever seen. They really want this game gone. They're even on those anti-DI YouTube channels trying to encourage the content creator to start trolling the game. Yeah, I don't really think there's that many lefties, like, bad jacketing this or anything. I don't know. I think maybe this is from, like... I think maybe these are, like, lefties, like, trying to cause disinformation or just centrists who are coping. But look, it's mostly organic. People are tired of DEI. It's simple as that. And what else did I have? Oh yeah, the Musa of Mali screenshot. Let's see, how long has this been going on? 16 minutes. Anyway, though, to wrap up, I mean, look, I wanted to buy. I mean, I was considering buying the game. I was never a big fan of the original. I thought it was good for what it is. It was a quality game, not really my thing. I was thinking about buying this one because apparently it seems like a massive improvement, but I sure as hell won't be buying it now. Look, I have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to DEI. If there's even a sniff of wokeness, I'm not buying it because look, is this a game going to be successful? Maybe. I think it's going to be negatively impacted by this controversy. Will it fail? I won't go that far, but I don't think it's going to do as well as it would have otherwise. And look, if we get Kingdom Come 3, just you wait, it's going to be even worse. Yeah, mark my words, we're going to have girl bosses, we're going to have openly gay characters in medieval Europe. We're going to have more black people, we're going to have Chinese people. It's going to basically have, like, the demographics of a modern American city. That's the kind of stuff we're going to be getting in the future Kingdom Come games if this game is successful. Which is why I won't support it, because I'm done. I'm done with DEI. Zero tolerance policy from here on out. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Tell me what you got. Tell me down below what you guys think. Are you still buying the game, or are you not buying it? Do you think it's a big deal? Anyway, and yeah, so be sure to comment down below, and if you enjoyed, like, and hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.